given the rot we've seen at the DOD lately, the dumpster fire that is the DOD, the contagion we've seen at the DOD, the absolute fraud, abuse, and waste we've seen at the DOD, picking somebody, quote unquote, qualified to fit everybody's what they all have in their head that it has to be, would be picking someone who's the status quo. I'll take Pete Hegseth any day of the week, given his mantra, his history, his dedication to the country, his service to the country. I'll take that any day of the week.
Yeah, I had no idea it was a Harvard grad. To kind of put it on top, because I've only seen him on TV and, of course, know about his military background. But there's a lot more to this guy that you don't realize.
Picking anybody who's quote unquote qualified is picking somebody who's part of the damn problem. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, given what we've seen over there.
Well, because their version or their what they consider qualified is, all right, who do you know? Basically, because they all wash each other's watch each other's back. Washing each other's back, kind of weird. But
let's put it into. Let's put it into.
Say this. Yeah. I think he's washing each other's watch. I didn't know what you were going to say.
Let's put it into picture form. Biden's the guy who runs that outfit over there, as opposed to Trump's Secretary of Defense. Let's put it into picture form. There you go. There's the two of them. Now you tell me which one you want.
Whoa.
Which one is Pete?
Or woke. Wow.
Yeah.
No brainer.
That's the upgrade you're getting at defense with Pete Hegseth. And I don't need to hear from anybody. Thanks, Aaron. I don't need to hear anything about. Oh well, we got to have a general. We got to have this. We got to have that. Has anyone been paying attention to what's been going on there lately?
Yeah.
Especially
when you talk about these generals that have been there, and and who was it? Was it Mike Benz that I heard talking about this? And I think we may have played the clip where it was either him or the other Mike Davis, where they were talking about. No, I think it was Benz. That these guys, these generals, they expect to walk into a room and everybody kiss their butt.
Yeah.
And when they suggest something, everybody goes yes, 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 and they get to do whatever they want.
Right. You've attained swamp creature status.
Yeah.
And you're proficient at basically sucking up, kissing ass, and you go to your yearly Raytheon parties and fundraisers. And Pete Hegseth is going to do none of that. He's not going to be loyal to any of those people, not tied to any of that. He's going to be loyal to one person, and that's the commander-in-chief, as he's used to doing as someone who served the country. So, I mean, just to save this is an indefensible pick, and he's not qualified, and he's not this. That's exactly that. He's overqualified, given what we've seen over there.
His military awards include a Bronze Star, Army Commendation, 2 times National Defense Service Medal, Afghanistan Campaign Medal, Iraq Campaign Medal, Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, Expert Infantry Badge. And that's just some of the awards and decorations that he has in his background. He's written some books. Like I said, the military background. He's run for office, U.S. Senate campaign in 2012, and he's been a staunch supporter of the military through all that time. So he's one that's been fighting for the rights of military and for the veterans. I think for a while Trump was considering putting him in charge of veteran affairs in his first administration. So,
I think people thought he was thinking about him for this administration. And then bam, Here comes this. He says, I'm honored to announce that I've nominated Pete Hegseth to serve in my cabinet as the Secretary of Defense. Pete has spent his entire life as a warrior for the troops and for the country. Pete is tough, smart, and a true believer in America first. With Pete at the helm, America's enemies are on notice. Our military will be great again, and America will never back down. Pete is a graduate of Princeton University. You said Harvard. Has a graduate degree from Harvard University. He is an Army combat veteran who did tours in Guantanamo Bay, Iraq, and Afghanistan. For his actions on the battlefield, he was decorated with 2 Bronze Stars, as well as a Combat Infantryman's Badge. Pete has been a host at Fox News for 8 years, where he used that platform to fight for our military and veterans. Pete's recent book, The War on Warriors, spent 9 weeks on the New York Times bestseller list, including 2 weeks at #1. The book reveals the left-wing betrayal of our warriors and how we must return our military to meritocracy, lethality, accountability, and excellence. Pete also has led 2 veterans advocacy organizations, leading the fight for our warriors and the great veterans. Nobody fights harder for the troops, and Pete will be courageous and patriotic champion for our peace through strength policy. So, wow. That one was that one was a wow.